Hello students. As I indicated in my last video, I wanted to provide you with one more organizational pattern for your persuasive speeches, in addition to the several that were included in Chapter 16. So towards that end, I have included a PDF of what's called the classical argument. And it is different from the ones listed in Chapter 16 in that it puts a slightly larger focus upon an opposing viewpoint. The very fact that you're making an argument means that there is some viewpoint in opposition to the one that you are proposing. You could be making your persuasive speech to a thoroughly sympathetic audience, which is sometimes called preaching to the choir, or to a neutral or mixed audience, or maybe even to a hostile audience. And it is not pointless to make an argument to a sympathetic audience. Think of what cheerleaders do. Basically, they are appealing to the home crowd to get them to, sort of root for the home team. But what is more normal is that you're addressing an audience, some of whom agree with your idea, some of whom oppose your idea. And so what the classical argument does is it takes into consideration that there is an opposing argument and always makes sure to address that. So I have constructed 3 short assignments that you should do in preparation for the persuasive speech. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to propose 3 different topics, and you'll put them into a discussion board. And as it says, I recommend that you try to go with a definitional argument or a value argument. You might want to try a resemblance argument. Policy arguments, any ones that say we should or we must or we ought, are more challenging, and so you might want to avoid those. And by all means, do not attempt a causal argument. Trained professionals with good, controlled, experimental conditions cannot effectively make causal arguments. So don't even go there. All right? So you're going to propose 3 topics. What I've done is I've proposed 3 as a sample. And so what you're going to do is you're going to say your claim as well as your main reason. So one of mine says, sugar is a toxic substance because it affects our metabolism and can lead to all kinds of dangerous diseases. So for your topics, you would state not only the claim, but the main reason in support of that claim. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to write a brief paragraph where you play the opposition. And so I give a sample of that also on a discussion board. So the opposition says, sugar is not a toxic substance. That's crazy. It's reckless, irresponsible. Don't say that, etc., etc. So you're going to do that so that you will first submit your 3 topics. I will comment on them as soon as they arrive and possibly say this is a better idea than that. But it's up to you to choose which the one you're going to actually argue. Then you will play the opposition. You don't tell me what the opposition would say. You actually be the opposition and make the argument against it. Because then when you finally do make your persuasive speech, it is a really good idea that you will at least acknowledge that there is an opposing argument and address it at some point in your speech. If you choose to follow the classical argument structure, what would happen is that first you would make your argument. Here we go. This is difficult because it's opposite. You've got an introduction, you make your argument, you give your reasons, you then summarize the opposing views, you refute the opposing views, and you have a conclusion. And one of the things that the classical argument points out is that an introduction doesn't just do one thing. It has 4 specific jobs it should be accomplishing. A conclusion doesn't just do one thing. It has 4 specific jobs. As I evaluated your informative speeches, for every one of you I commented, you could have done a better job on the organizational preview. So that's the part that's quite important, that what you do is you say, okay, here's where I'm going to take you on this 6-minute persuasive speech, and you outline where you're going to take them so that when you take them there, they know where you're going, where you have been, and where you are. So the final short assignment is for you to write an actual preparation outline for your speech. So that's something that you should submit next Friday. As soon as I get it, I'll comment on it, because your persuasive speeches are actually due on Monday, the 13th. So we've got 3 short 1-point assignments in preparation for what then is the largest value assignment in this course. And then on Monday, I will communicate to you how it is that I hope to get from you a short 2-minute impromptu speech which will be done sort of live using either the conference tool in Canvas or possibly Google Hangouts or possibly FaceTime, some way in which I get to actually see you on the other end, giving a 2-minute speech to a topic that you just got 2 minutes before you actually give the speech. Again, that is a kind of a small point value thing. It's only worth 10% of the course grade, and I will be pretty liberal in the way I grade it, so don't freak out about that. But the thing to do now is concentrate on making your persuasive speeches. So I will now pack up this video, put it into the beginning of Module 5.2, and there you will see the 3 little assignments that you should do within the next few days so that you will be ready a week from Monday to make your persuasive speech. Talk to you later.